Hey Libra, this is Chronic Joy Tarot, and we're going to do your current reading for those born under the sign of Libra, and also Moon and Rising, and also any of you that just came upon this video. You were guided here, and trust that, and this message is for you. The way my readings are done, if you're new to my channel, is that they are really not about predictive outcomes, people in your life, anything like that. This is all internal. This is all about your soul, tapping into and aligning with your soul, finding an aspect of yourself that you can expand and working on it. It's for, your own soul growth. We get really caught up in humanness, of course. Hello, we're human beings. We can't help that. But we get ourselves so grounded and anchored in our daily lives that we forget that we're all souls, we're all eternal. There really isn't any difference or disconnection between any of us. And tapping into that every now and then is a really lovely way to get your physical body grounded again, right? Just staying in touch, keeping that connection between you and you alive. Okay? Every month I pull one oracle card, and then we expand on that topic, and we focus on a certain aspect of ourselves. And this month that card is coming from this Soul Coaching deck by Denise Lynn. It's really a beautiful deck, really fun and uplifting. The card I pulled for you, Libra, is this card called the Voyage. So this could be a literal trip you're taking, but since this is, soul guidance here, I'm going to take this as, your spiritual journey. And we can think of, if we really just remove and step away from our ego self and tap way into that inner being and realize, and then expand and look at the big picture, you realize that our spiritual journey, it is kind of like sailing like a voyage, because there's high waves and low ones, and sometimes there's rough waters, and sometimes it's so foggy we can't see, and then it clears up and we can sail peacefully for a while. Some people may join us on the journey along the way and then leave, and but it's our journey alone. And we, as far as the empowerment that's behind that, it's really a lovely concept to think that I pretty much navigate my journey. And yeah, when there's rough waters and things are more difficult, I can sail through it. I can get through it because I've done it before. If I look behind me at the progress of my life, I can see that during the challenging times, I made it through. And I'm here, and I'm more knowledgeable now. I've grown from it, and what's next, right? There's just, it's much more expansive than sometimes we let ourselves realize. Sometimes, the focus is so much on what's right in front of us in the daily life, which is completely human and normal. But then times, if you can just open that up a little bit and step apart from it a little and observe, be the observer of your own journey, right? That's when you start to really find growth. The spread that we're using is using the Zen Tarot deck, and it's called the Flying Bird. We have a point of liftoff, and then we take flight and come to a new level of awareness. And your starting point here, Libra, is silence. Spend more time in the coming days with yourself, in silence, not needing silence and shutting people out and saying stop chattering, whatever. Pull inward, allow all the other sounds and activity to be around you, and just be. That is true. That's the art of meditating right there. And then this will help open up your intuition, your third eye. You'll be more in connection and more in alignment with your inner being. And what a great, what a great place to get to and then open up to what's next on your journey, right? So no matter what, and see the caption here on this card, I am safe and loved no matter where I am. You are. You're held by spirit at all times. You're always held by the Creator and your own sense of spirit. You're always safe. And everything that has occurred up until this moment in your life needed to. It was meant. And sometimes we have extremely difficult, challenging things that occur. But that was for you. It happened for you to grow an area of yourself, to grow an aspect of yourself and become even stronger, and perhaps bring what you've learned to others. Like I said, there is no separation between us. So staying connected is, that's the way we grow. Okay? The left wing here of this flying bird spread are internal energies. These are things that are within you that you're aware of, but maybe others aren't. And then the right wing are external energies. The first internal card here that's butted up against your point of beginning, your takeoff card here, this is called the fear of flying. So if there is going to be any blockage to your progress, it's going to start with this card, okay? And that is this card, friendliness. So if this is a literal connection in your life, or if this is a more of a spiritual sense, it's very important to stay rooted where you are and deep into the earth. This is important to actually probably a good grounding technique, to go sit in the earth, be with nature. Maybe even if you can find a tree, get your back up against that tree and feel the support of the earth. But that grounds you. Like what I'm leading toward is these two trees, they're very close together. This could be you and a friend, you and a loved one, you and an intangible idea that you carry with you that you want to see come to fruition, you and your career, something intangible like that. But the point is that no matter how much their branches intertwine, and even in those areas where they do, their colors change. The yellow and the pink become orange, and same with the roots there. They remain rooted where they are and allow the other to be present without pulling them and yanking them and making them bend too far one way or the other. This is an important alignment to achieve, especially if your voyage and your life gets a little hectic, right? It's very important to stay rooted and grounded in the place that you occupy, spiritually and physically, okay? So practice some grounding techniques if you haven't in a while, and if you're not familiar with it, you can Google it. There's many ways. There's several ways you can, but it really is mental imagery that you can apply during a meditation, or look at how it's perfectly aligned with the silence card. So during a meditation, ground yourself, and then that will allow, it brings you to a sense of calm, a sense of centeredness and strength. And then no matter what comes along on your voyage, high seas or not, you're solid, right? Okay, in your external world, once this grounding and turning in silence has been achieved, you will continue that energy in your external world with this experiencing card. This is a card that shows this woman walking through the forest, and she pauses to look at a tree. Well, she's not just looking at it, she's engaging with this tree. She's literally experiencing it. She's holding its branch. It is enveloping her, with its leaves and branches. And this is the depth of experience that, I wish for you to achieve, Libra, along your little voyage in life, is that every interaction with another, every seemingly insignificant moment is absorbed and really taken in. Really feel all that you're experiencing, especially after you get grounded. This is going to be a lot easier. You're going to really find your footing on your journey in this way. Okay? The next, internal awareness. Now, there might be some sort of ideal outcome or ideal goal or ideal situation that you have always thought of as, the way to happiness. And I want you to know that, this may be within you, and maybe you haven't shared it with anyone. Maybe you think that, I don't know, if you're a performer, growing up to be the brightest star on Broadway is the only way that you're going to see success and be happy, right? Well, that may be true. That would make you happy, but it isn't the only way. And loosening up your, your set goals. Now, I'm not saying don't achieve your goals, but loosening up a little to open up your awareness to the life that's around you. On your way to those goals, you might find new experiences that you never would have noticed had you just been only, focused on one thing. That's, sometimes those dreams we tell ourselves are really just illusory. They're just illusions because life is happening, right? And we need to respond and react and move in different directions and take our journey, our voyage, the way it's presented to us. Okay? So don't get yourself too caught up or too upset if some of these dreams aren't showing up the way you imagined them, because the miracles are always coming, right? They're always coming. Like maybe you're in a relationship that has ended and you thought you would be together forever, and you're not. And that doesn't mean that you failed it, right? That means you experienced that, took it as far on the voyage, on your voyage. It was, that person was with you as far as they could go, and now they're no longer on the voyage with you. And I know it's, as humans, it's sad to let go of others if we don't want to, and those are, challenging situations. But in addition to that challenge, you can also expand your view and see gifts and see the lessons and what you've learned and how far you've come as a result of knowing that person. And there's always more to it. Okay, it's not just sailing the waters and getting wet, right? There's so much more going on. Okay, in your outward world, once you start to grasp that concept that, I was just kind of saying that. Because you get to a higher point of consciousness, you start to see in a more expansive way. The third eye is lit here again on this figure. So there's a lot of intuition for you at this time, Libra, that you can tap into. And trust it. Trust your inner guide. Trust it to light your way all the way through your journey, because everything is happening for you. And if you believe that, there's nothing that you can't overcome. Okay? The final internal energy here is a mind card, a mental card, and it's the burden. So I'm going to ask that in your practice of turning inward and grounding and staying open to what comes, you also acknowledge that you can shed some thoughts or perspectives, ways of seeing things, attitudes. These are things that are happening within you. You can shed some of those because they're no longer serving you. They are dragging you down. Okay? Maybe these are consistent negative thoughts about another, or worry about what may come, and worry that maybe this dream isn't going to come true. You can work on actively shedding those, because you're reaching toward this higher state of consciousness, and you're learning to trust in the voyage. You're learning to trust that every every wave and every rough sea, and every time it becomes sunny again and you sail evenly, those are all meant to be for you. They're all happening for you to grow. Okay? And then the outcome in your external world, you might feel a release, because for a long time maybe you were suppressing some emotions or suppressing some things, maybe some words that you needed to express to another. Once you're grounded and you're tapped into your inner self, and you're connected, and you realize this whole journey is happening for you, you may find you can release some things. You can share some things with others that you've been holding back. Or you can release things physically. Get out and shake it out. Go for a swim. Go for a run. There is a release coming for you, as far as, once you start to shed those inner thoughts, it will show up in your external world, and you'll feel it. You'll feel that release. Okay, Libra, I love you guys so much, and I will find you again on my next video. I'm trying again to do as many as I can, but it's been crazy in my real world. So thank you for being here with me. Find me on Instagram if you want some short videos and other insights. And until next time, I love you guys.